Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy D Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon, guys, and happy. I'm gonna say the day today, and I'm gonna take my chances that I'm gonna upload this video in the same day. So happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Good afternoon. I gotta tell you, I was on my way home from a dentist appointment, and I saw Brad Kimes he did another video. I guess like not a stream, but just a video. And I'm so glad I checked it out because someone sent something to him, or he got a notification from someone on Twitter, or saw the post from Ken. I believe this guy's name is Ken Melendez. Showed an interview on CNBC of David Reuters on there, and I tell you what, I listened to that thing twice. Very, very interesting and very, very telling. Because listen, we can't ignore the fact that the quarter settler does use XRP for settlement. We can't ignore that, and we can't remember when we heard about the whole 78% of the banks would be using quarter or online with quarter. I don't know, sometime last year we heard that. Well, a few interesting things with this interview with David Reuters, right? And one things that I like that he pointed out, right? So very important. When he's being asked by a couple of people on CNBC, one lady, one guy, and the way he answered the questions and not debated with and not argued with, I think pays homage to how long he's been in the space, right? And it also pays, when you know that you know that you know that you know, you don't have to tell people who you are, right? When you know that you know that you know, you don't have to tell people. Your experience, your success will prove out, right? But one of the things that I like that he said is, he said, I've been in the streets for 30 years, in this space. It's very, 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 very important. Because the guy, in other words, I've seen a lot of things. I've gone through some stuff, had some wins and had some failures, right? Seen the good, bad, and the uglies, right? And so this guy had tried to, he tried to kind of poo-poo, the CNBC guy. He tried to kind of say that blockchain was failing, right? Because the whole idea of mass adoption hadn't taken place yet. He said, and he used the phrase a long time, right? And David Reuters said, well, is it a long time? He said, Swift and CLS and other major innovations took over a decade to go live. It took over a decade. And we say on this channel all the time that all great things take 10 years. They take 10 years. It takes 5 years to know that you know that you know, and then the next 5 years putting it into place, putting it into action, right? So all great things, 10 years, right? And so I thought that was really significant that he pointed that out, that we're still early in the game, the blockchain game and the payments game. And think about Swift really with, only been around since 2012, not quite at 10 years yet. And you look at ODL, just a year for ODL, right? And so important to understand that. But one of the things that he pointed out on that video, and I hope you guys can see, it is really sunny. One of the things that he pointed out is he said that he felt like it was a nice announcement for him. Number one, he said, 2020, expect 2020 to be live, or expect 2020 to see some significant things in 2020. And then he said that 100% of the banks in Italy will be online. 100%. And he also, by the way, kind of threw in there that he would just met with the central bank. So he's meeting with central banks, right? But 100% of the banks in Italy will be online this year, is what he said. 100%. And he said hundreds of millions of transactions. And, you know, it's quarter, right? Quarter settles in XRP. That's going to be a great thing to see how that works out. But I wanted to point out to you guys, if you can follow Ken, I believe his name was Melendez. I don't think it was Martinez. I think it was Melendez. That CNBC interview with David Reuters, or you can probably Google it. But 100% of the banks will be online. 100% of the banks will be online in 2020 in Italy. That's great news. So 2020 is looking to be really, really significant. Positive. DIY investing did a little bit of TA about Bitcoin as a whole. I really enjoyed it because he kind of had two scenarios in terms of the overall long term 2021, 2022 for Bitcoin. And he had a target of 200,000. Young man had a target of 200,000. Don't know. We'll see. Not necessarily in 2020, but he was saying just 21, 22 years are going to be years to really pay more so attention to, and that 2020 could be a year of gradual accumulation, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, long term, long Bitcoin, I get it. I get that, but for me, I'd rather hang out in the alts and get the bigger gains in the altcoins. That's just me, my personal, and I did own some Bitcoin for a bit, and I get in it, and I get out of it. I take some gains and I get out, that type of deal. So, but in any case, 2020 is looking to be very, 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 very promising. It really is looking to be very, very promising. Saw Bitcoin had a little bit of a retrace, right? It got up as high as 8,400, and I saw it at 8,000 a couple of hours ago, which is great, I think. The little retracement is great, and even if it goes back to, I think that they're looking at 7,900, 7,980, if you will, kind of that staying above that 7,900 level is significant. So we'll see how that plays out. But overall, 2020 is going to be great. I think it's going to be really good for altcoins. I think it's going to be really, really good. Snatched up some VeChain today on the DL, on the down low. On the dip, I should say. It should be the dip on the dip. So grab some more VeChain. Got a new goal now for VeChain. Because the alts are going to follow Bitcoin, but Bitcoin hasn't done its thing yet, right? It hasn't done the thing yet. So that 10 to 12 Bitcoin hasn't happened yet. So for me, it's going to be a good time to hit this new goal for VeChain, because I was just thinking, even a 20-cent VeChain for me would be great. Not financial advice. Certainly don't make your financial decisions based on a guy on YouTube. This is not at all financial advice in any way, shape, form, or manner. You got to understand that the digital asset space is risky and you could lose it all. So certainly never, ever put any money into the space that you cannot afford to lose. But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of looking at. Interesting news. 100% of the banks will be online in Italy in 2020. David Reuters laying it down. Very good information. Very, very good news, I think, because Quarter uses XRP for settlement. So that's a really, really, really good deal. Hundreds of millions of transactions. Pretty significant stuff, guys. I hope you're excited about it. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this video up like I do all videos and remind you that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.